So pair of linear equations in two variables, this is what we are going to discuss in this class. Okay. আমি খান polynomial পড়াতাম দিবি linear কত linear equation linear polynomial কত বুঝি যাইছিল না okay so linear equation means in an equation the highest power of the variable is 1 no if the highest power of the variable is 1 in an equation, then that equation will be called as linear equation. Okay. So pair of linear equations in two variables. When I say linear equation in one variable, if I say linear equation in one variable, then how do we represent? How do we write? Linear equation in one variable. There should be only one unknown, only one kind of unknown, maybe x, maybe only y, maybe only z, or maybe only s, maybe only t, and so on. Okay? And the power of that, the highest power of that variable should be only one. So linear. Are you following that? So an equation of the type x plus 3 is equal to 0. Y minus 7 is equal to 0. An equation of this type, see? In this equation we have only one unknown, that is x, so one variable. And the highest power of this variable is 1, so linear. So this type of equation will be called as linear equation in one variable. Alright? But here we are going to discuss about two variables, right? When we talk about two variables, then when we talk about linear equation in two variables, then we are talking about equation having two types of unknown. Maybe x and y together, maybe x and z, maybe s and t, maybe u and v. So an equation of the type x plus 4y plus 6 equal to 0. See, an equation of this type. In this equation we have two different types of unknown, x and y, so two variables. Power of this x is 1, power of this y is also 1, so highest power is only 1, so linear equation. So linear. We have two different kinds of unknown, x and y, so two variables, and the highest power of these variables is only 1, so linear. So this type of equations are called linear equations in two variables. And if we write two such equations, this is one equation, right? We can write another equation of this type, no? We can write another equation of this type. 3x plus 7y plus 1 is equal to 0, see? Now how many equations altogether now? Two. Pair. Now we write them in pair. So pair of linear equations in two variables. So this is your chapter. Is it okay? We are talking about equations which has two different types of unknowns. So two variables. Okay? The highest power of the variables will be only 1, so linear. And we consider two such equations. So pair of linear equations into variables. Alright? Okay. Now in standard form or in general form, we can say in general form, ಇದು pair of linear equations in two variables. How do we write it in general form? Okay, like general form. See, in particular case, you're ayala. In general, you are human, right? No? So, general form of linear equations in two variables. but I'm going to write two such equations, so it will be in pair, okay? So general form is, if you're writing only one, then you have to write ax plus by plus plus c equal to 0. Is it alright? This is the general form of pair of linear equations into variables. A is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, and c is the constant term. If we consider pair, in pair, then we have to write first equation as a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So this is the general form of what? Pair of linear equations into variables. Pair of linear equations into variables should always be represented in this form. Itulah form boleh lagi hodai. A1 is any non-zero real number. B1 is also any non-zero real number. C1 can be a zero or non-zero real number. Okay? Okay. Good, so this is how we write the general form of, or this is how we represent the pair of linear equations into variables. So we do this chapter in order to find out the solutions. Of this type of equations. Okay? So there are three different types of solution that this kind of equations can have. No. See, what is this? This is a pair of linear equations into variables, right? Duita thakapra pair question no. So this system of equations, or I can say this kind of pair of equations can have three different types of solution. So types of solution. This is very important. Types of solution. So, okay, pair of linear equations into variables can have three types of solution. What is this A1? Coefficient of x. What is this B1? Coefficient of y. C1 is your constant term. This one is the coefficient of x in the second equation. This is the B2 is the coefficient of y in the second equation, and C2 is the constant term in the second equation, right? No? So these are equation 1 and 2. Now, in order to determine the type of solution, what type of solution can your given equations have? Okay? So the first type of solution is like this. In order to find out the type of solution, now, what you need to do is you have to find out the ratio of A1 and A2. A1 and A2 laga ratio pisari. A1 do coefficient of x in the first equation. A2 means coefficient of x in the second equation. So you have to find out the ratio of A1 by A2. Okay? You also need to find out the ratio of B1 and B2. Means B1 is the coefficient of y in the first equation, B2 is the coefficient of y in the second equation. So you need to find out the ratio. And you need to find out the ratio of the constant term. C1 upon C2. Alright? You have to bring it in the simplest form. Suppose, if you see that A1 by A2 coefficient of x in the first equation is 2. A2 means coefficient of x in the second equation, right? If it is 4. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. Then see, it has to be brought in the simplest form. The ratio has to be written in the simplest form. Alright? Okay? Good, okay. Now, in order to determine the types of solution, we find out the ratio of A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. Now, the first one, if you observe that the first ratio A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. If the first two ratios are not equal, then we do not compare it with third ratio. Alright? First duita ratio to equal hona do, third ratio logo compare hino. So if the first two ratios are not equal, then we can conclude that the given pair of linear equations has unique solution. Unique solution. Unique solution means there is only one solution. There is only one value of x. There can be only one value of y which will satisfy this pair of equations. Alright? So if the first two ratios are not equal, then we can conclude that the given pair, the given pair, or we can write system, okay? The given pair of equations, or you can say the given system of equations has what solution? Unique solution. Unique solution means we have only one solution. Is it okay? So the second one is, if in the first case it was two ratios are not equal, right? Then we have stopped there, right? The second one is, if the first ratio is equal, first to taijon to equal no bole laga hoishina. Ita to taijon equal. If the first ratio is equal to your second ratio, but if it is not equal to your third ratio, that means if A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2, first two ratio to equal, but it is not equal to your third ratio. It is not equal to your third ratio. Then the given pair of equations, we can say that the given pair of equations has no solution. Solution hi nai. No solution. No solution. Is it okay? Means x laga value pisaribo na paribo. Y laga value bi pisaribo na paribo. Puja se. Ito the unique solution de x laga value pisaradan de ikta hi bawo. Y laga value pisaradan de ikta hi bawo. Awi to rabi pishin na bawo. Puja se na? Yes. Third one do, tinda type ase. Third one do ini ityane likhli bi kune na kuchidi likhli. Third one do ki ase? Ki laga first two ito duita equal na hoy. Na next to ki yoshe, these two are equal but not equal to this. Third one should be, what is the third possibility? All should be equal. So if A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2 is equal to C1 upon C2, if all the three ratios are equal, then we can say that the given system of equations or the given pair of equations will have infinite number of solutions. That means when we try to find out the value of x and y from this given pair of equations, we'll get so many values of x that we won't be able to count. We'll get so many values of y, okay? We'll get so many solutions that we cannot even count. Okay? Is it okay? So in this case, the given pair of equations has infinite number of solutions. It has infinite number of solutions. That is how we find the types of solution. We see, okay, the different kinds of solution of a pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay, all right. You can just copy it down so that you don't forget now.